Good evening and welcome back to Be Rich. Today I wanted to talk about SPACs. What are SPACs? SPACs are special purpose acquisition companies. These were very popular in 2019, 2020, 2021. They raised about 250 billion, more than 250 billion US dollars. In 2022, they raised $19 billion. Special purpose acquisition companies were basically companies in which investors gave blank checks to celebrity investors and allowed them to merge with unlisted companies and do a reverse listing. A SPAC was a company without any business listed on one of the stock exchanges. Using the money it had raised, it would go and acquire an unlisted business, unlisted company, and merge it with itself and list it on the market. This was touted as a way for retail investors like you and me to participate and get a buy into unlisted companies at good valuations. Basically, it was a sham. Interest rates were very low. People were getting very poor returns. All assets were overpriced. The world was overheated. There was an asset bubble everywhere. People believed whatever they saw. And so, celebrity investors took gullible retail investors for a ride and collected billions of dollars. According to the arrangement, they were supposed to buy a business within 2 years or return the money back to the retail investor. The retail investor also had an option to redeem his money if certain conditions were not met. 2018, 19, 20, 21 were the heyday of SPACs, where a lot of celebrities, both in US and India, launched a slew of SPACs, basically very greedy to lay their hands on client money. People like Chamath Palpatia, who made his name as a Facebook engineer, compared himself as the next Warren Buffett, raised a lot of money through SPACs. And he had a money management firm in which he had raised billions of dollars. As I speak to you today, Palpatia's funds are down 50%. Most of his SPACs have not acquired companies, and where they have acquired companies, they have proved to be dead, and investors have lost a lot of money. The rules say that if you don't acquire a target company within 2 years, you will have to return the money with a slight interest. Most retail investors today are willing to happily take back the money at a small with a small interest. Why did people invest in SPAC? Because real assets were not giving any values, stock markets were overvalued, and banks were giving negative interest. So basically, investors had to invest somewhere. People who had hard assets could borrow next to nothing and speculate that money, and they speculated with gusto. As I speak today, the London Stock Exchange says $158 billion worth of my equity is still with SPACs, and SPACs are chasing companies for mergers or acquisitions. They are not able to find good deals, and sooner or later, most of this money is going to be returned back to retail investors. In funds where the funds itself has not shut down, investors are allowed to do early redemption, and those redemptions are started with gusto. How can such a mad boom not touch India? So in India, there was a company called Reliance Entertainment, which was run by the younger of the two Ambani brothers, and which, like all his other companies, went bankrupt. So investors were foolish enough to believe that the managing director of Reliance Entertainment was a super duper manager, his name being Sarkar, and he would raise money, millions of dollars, in a SPAC, and then he promised investors that he would create a wide range of Indian entertainment, lighting from OTT, an OTT platform, movie distribution, TV channels, and the whole gamut of things. He lined up people like Ajay Devgan, Mani Ratnam, and other galaxy of so-called movie stars and egged him to raise money. He raised about $300 million and promised the heaven, the moon, and the earth all rolled into one in 2 years. 2 years have since passed, and he has produced nothing but losses. And most of that company, it was called iMac. The iMac company has not launched any great OTT nor made any movies. In fact, has only produced huge losses for people who had invested in them. Several retail investors who have invested money in it have started pulling out funds. So far, iMac has not made any successful investment in India, nor produced any great movie, nor distributed anything. What was basically is a bunch of failed heroes and directors led by Sarkar saw a scheme by which they could tempt their fans who had money to become gullible investors and spare them with some cash for them to play around with. They did manage to do that, but the market collapsed much before that, and therefore they could not acquire anything of value. Sooner or later, they will have to return all the money that they have borrowed, that they have got subscribed from the clients. What this teaches us is that in investing, you should know exactly what you are doing. Like Charlie Munger says, one should not aim for the sky in returns. It is better to get a slightly above average return over a long period of time in a steady manner by investing regular cash. That will definitely produce wealth. As Buffett's biography says, snowball. You make a small snowball on top of a building, or top of a mountain slope, and roll it. It keeps gathering snow, sand, rocks, and keeps growing as it rolls down. The mountain should be construed as the time takes. The earlier you start, the better, because it gives you more time for the snowball to gather more snow, sand, and rock. Similarly, the earlier you start, the capital has more time to compound and can grow faster. One should realize that there is nothing called fly by night getting rich. It only happens in Indian movies that once somebody becomes wealthy, by the time he gets climbs up a stair and climbs down. Real life is not so easy, and it takes a lifetime to make money, especially substantially. People and retail investors should not fall for gullible promises of people who are failed heroes, directors, or real celebrities, like whether it is Ajay Devgan, Mani Ratnam, or Jennifer Lopez. You appreciate their art but not their finances. In the list of world's top 100 billionaires, you will not find a single entertainer. The first entertainment person who enters the list is Oprah Winfrey, and way down in the pecking order. That should tell you entertainment professionals are not great investors. Thank you for watching. Be rich. If you like the content, like this video, hit the subscribe button of my channel and turn on the bell notification. If you do not turn on the bell notification, you will not be notified every time we put out a video. Thank you for supporting Be Rich. I have a request. Kindly forward this video to your friends and relatives and encourage them to see this. I want to thank all of you for supporting our event in Oman with great enthusiasm. A lot of people turned up in Oman, and a place where I don't have much influence. I wish to thank all of you for your support. The next event is going to be in Qatar, Doha. The event is scheduled for the last week of January. Those who would like to meet me in person in Qatar, Doha, or come to our event in Doha can send their request to the mail ID given below or contact the WhatsApp number flashing on the screen. My team will respond to you. See you in Qatar in the last week of Jan. It's a great privilege and honor that so many of you in thousands have subscribed to my channel and have supported me. I have written 2 books in English, The Alchemy of Money and Ordinary Stocks, Extraordinary Profits. These books are published by us and are ready. If you want to procure a copy, send us a message to the WhatsApp number given below and my team would respond to you. If you want an Amazon Kindle copy, you can click the link below. Finally, those who wish to consult with me can send a mail to berichenglish@gmail.com. Once again, I thank you for your support. If you like this video, press the subscribe button of my channel, hit the like button and turn on the bell notification.